Thank you for joining me. You might just take a comfortable seat, either with your legs crossed, your legs outstretched, in a chair, or as I personally prefer it, just on a block, and have a blanket of some sort nearby. Now, today's mindfulness practice that we're going to be going through is called orienting. This is something that our brains do automatically, which is to give you a sense of how far you are from any object that's in space. And we're going to be connecting to that. So to start, take your comfortable seat. Let your hands rest just on your legs or in your lap, however is comfortable there. And you have the option to close your eyes or to take your gaze just softened and a little bit downward and inward to the extent where it's a little bit blurry and unfocused. And allow yourself to just come to this present moment, letting anything go to the side that it may have taken to get here. All the activities that it takes just to be set up and in this moment here. And know that if at any point you're uncomfortable, you're never stuck in the posture that you're in. And you're always welcome to change anything or adjust as needed. Let this be a moment that you neither need to plan for the future nor revisit the past. Just to be in this precious and fleeting moment. And as you come to notice your body, I want you to bring particular attention to your right shoulder. And then see if you can sense, without needing to be perfect, the space between your right shoulder and the wall to your right. And then sense the space back from the wall to your shoulder. And just a couple times from your shoulder out to the wall. Without a need to get it particularly correct or exact. Just get a sense for the space, again, from the wall back to your shoulder. And one more time out from your shoulder to the wall. And let the sense come back to your shoulder. And then move your attention just slightly down into your elbow. And with the same sense the elbow down to the floor. And from the floor up into your elbow. You might notice that this is something that your body does automatically, is to have this sense, but this is your chance to be very present and involved in something that happens constantly without your needing to control it at any point. And from the elbow, back down to the floor. And pulsing back up to your elbow. Then redirecting slightly the next time you have your attention your elbow, from the elbow back to the wall behind you. Without needing to look or even know exactly how far or what it is that's behind you. Sensing that next object and then back to yourself. And that this moment right now is just you in the present. Your mind may wander at different points. You can just gently bring it back to this practice that we call orienting. And the next time you come back to the elbow, you're going to take the attention up through the shoulder and through to the top and the crown of your head, just on top of your head. And start to sense the ceiling above you. and the space, the emptiness between you and the ceiling back down. Knowing that you don't have to get it particularly right, and you can't really get this practice wrong. From your head to the ceiling, and from the ceiling back down to your head. You might even take a chance to step back a little bit and notice the sensation of you noticing this practice. And as you come back down to rest on the crown of your head, you might find the space at the center of your chest, where you might call the center your heart center. And as your attention rests in the center line of your body, notice how your right side of your right side interprets and has a sense of the space in itself and of the room around it. And notice how that differs from your left side, where we've yet to do this practice. You might sense that you have more attention, a more detailed image of the space or even your own body. And as that all comes together at your heart center, let your energy, let your attention shine out from your heart to the wall in front of you. And from the wall in front of you to your heart, and straight through to the wall behind you. Reverberating back to your heart. And through to the wall in front of you. Taking that moment to pause within yourself and to still allow the energy to pass. Unhindered, but just as a guest of your sense. And as you come back to heart center, we'll shift our attention to your left elbow, going in reverse order, starting from your left elbow to the wall behind you, and back to your elbow. A couple times at a pace that just feels natural and comfortable. You might find that there has a certain tempo or rhythm naturally imbibed there. And as you rest back in the elbow, let that energy change directions to the wall to your left. And as it comes back to your elbow, you might even sense that it has a relationship to the wall to your right, that you still have a sense of the space around you, and that this is added to it, creating a more complete picture. And even as thoughts may come or go, you can gently just usher them on their way and bring yourself back to this present, diverse, and very dynamic moment. And as you come to the elbow again, let your attention come up to your shoulder. And from the shoulder, again, back to the wall to the left. To the shoulder, down to the elbow, and down to the floor beneath it. From the floor to your elbow, up through your shoulder, and to the wall to the left. Creating a somewhat more three-dimensional picture, three-dimensional sense that you can feel without even needing to look the sense of your eyes. And the next time you come to your body, you might let the sense, your felt sense and your attention rest more in the center of your body. And just notice how your body feels different now from when it did at the beginning of the practice. Without a need to change it, to even ascribe a word to what your sensation feels like. Just notice the feelings and sensations, your perception of space around you, the perception of space within you. And just a couple moments of quiet. You allow yourself to just be right here and right now. And now we're going to transition to a little bit of motion in our seated position. You're welcome to open your eyes as we change or to experience them with your eyes shut if that is comfortable for you. For the first position, we're going to take the legs straight out in front with your heels down and your toes up. You can stay seated on a block. You might take a blanket just underneath your hips for comfort. And from this position, I'm going to sit up slightly, roll your shoulders up, back slightly, and then down your spine just a couple inches. You might feel that your heart and your chest lifts open a little bit. Your back is in slight extension. And then slide your right foot up so your knee comes into your chest. Your right foot sits flat onto the ground. Left leg stays extended. And now as we twist, we're going to take the left hand either to the knee or in the outside of the right leg. And the right hand is going to come behind you. If you're on an elevated surface, this might be in your fingertips. And allow yourself to twist to the right and even turning your head and possibly your gaze over and past your right shoulder. And now from here, we're going to orient in our twisted position. So starting from your kidneys, which are just behind your ribs on the right side, we're going to go from the kidney to the wall immediately behind your torso. Now this is a wall that is now behind you, but used to be your wall to your left. And notice as the energy transfers from the wall back to your kidneys, and your heart stays lifted. You might again notice how this changes your sense of the space around you and your place in it. And then gently deepen the twist as you go one more time from your kidneys to the wall. And to the wall back inside to you. And then transferring your attention to the crown of your head, to the ceiling above you, down through into your heart, into the wall in front of you, which used to be the wall to your right. From the wall to your heart, up through the crown of your head to the ceiling, down to the crown and through the center of your body, and to the wall in front of you. As you come to rest and center, gently release your twist, allowing yourself to come back to center. Notice any tingling sensations, any stretch that may feel even a little bit uneven at this point, a little favoring to the left side body, or whatever that sensation may be in your body. And as we gently switch the feet, the right leg is going to extend outward, the left foot is going to come flat onto the ground. Left arm turns back behind you, right arm twists open. Again, hand can be at the knee or just outside of the leg to create a little leverage on your leg itself. And as we stay seated up tall, bring your attention to your left kidney now. And let that emphasis go from the inside of your body to the wall behind you, which now used to be the wall to your right. And from the wall behind you, back to your body. And to the wall behind you. Again, knowing that you don't need to get this right and that you can't particularly get it wrong. This is just a mindfulness practice to bring ourselves out of our thinking minds and a little bit more into our present bodies. That our practice might be imperfect, but that it is still growth in its own. And as you come forward, we'll bring the attention to the heart this time, to the wall in front of you, which used to be the wall on your left. Back to you. Up through the crown of your skull to the ceiling. Back to your heart. To the wall in front of you. To your heart center. And out and through to the roof. The ceiling, excuse me. And as you come to rest in your heart, we'll gently release the twist, unhook your arm, bring yourself back to center. And then bring both knees so that your feet are flat on the ground. Hold onto your knees lightly and then lift your heart and lift your chest. Take in the sense and picture that is in your heart and in your mind. That our brain, without ever having to think, creates this picture over and over again to help keep us safe, to support us, and to give us a sense of our place within the spaces that we occupy. This is a process that goes on continually without you ever having to ascribe any attention, coercion, or forcefulness to make it happen. It happens automatically for you and through you. You might release your knees and come back to a comfortable resting position. We're going to take one more posture before taking a little bit of Shavasana at the end, which is just going to be some quiet time to rest and sense within your own body. To do so, we're going to come off any structure that we are seated on and come to lay on the ground if that is comfortable for you. If it is not in this current space, whatever space you're in, you're more than welcome to remain seated. From a little reclined position, take your feet just underneath your knees. Your hands can rest gently down on your sides, palms face down. And then as you root into your heels, I want you to bring your sense into your low belly. And as you press the floor away to lift your hips and belly towards the sky, you're going to let your sense shoot out towards the ceiling above you. And as your sense returns back into your hips, you're going to let yourself come back down and the sense to pass through you to the floor that you have contact with. At your own pace, we're going to do that about 3 or 4 more times. Lift your hips, press your energy up towards the ceiling. And exhale, lower back down. You might sense a pace that feels nourishing, natural, or comfortable for you. You might just follow that. Noticing the density of the ground underneath you, possibly being a little bit more simple to sense, being able to physically feel it. Two more times. You might notice the natural pauses of your motion, which may or may not could coincide with your breath or your attention. You might notice that today your attention is a little bit more off the walls, and that's okay too. The next time you come to rest flat, go ahead and extend your legs out wide and take any comfortable resting position. In this case, putting the blanket over your lower body may feel grounding as well as comforting. The weight of it might help you feel a little bit more secure and set in this position as well. And for just about 3 or 4 minutes, allow yourself to embrace this practice, the effects, and allow yourself a moment's rest. You might invite your senses to come back to your physical body, to find yourself back to home by wiggling your fingers or swishing your toes back and forth. That swish might transfer to your whole legs, your arms. And then when you're ready, you'll just gently roll onto your right side of your body, taking a fetal position for just a moment. And then gently pressing yourself up to a seated position using the assistance of your arms to make it a smooth and comfortable transition. Your eyes may still be closed and you're welcome to keep them there. But I always like to end all my classes by taking one deep breath together. We're going to go in through the nose and then out through the mouth, maybe with the assistance of your arms, breathing in. And slow, full exhale out through the mouth. I want to thank you again for joining me in this practice. If you have any questions, comments, I would love to know how this felt for you, how you are in this present moment, whether things worked or just how the state of your mind and being is. If you don't mind just hanging out and chatting with me a little bit, I would appreciate that. Otherwise, have a great rest of your night. I'll be doing this each week each night for the next 2 weeks, and especially during Trans Week, all the donations will be going towards a couple different trans health organizations that a couple of my trans friends have been found very helpful. And if you have any strong opinions on groups like that, I would love to help support places that you love in that. So again, thank you for your time and joining me in my practice. Have a good day. Let's see if I can actually see any of the comments.